What's up? It's your boy Stone 7. Just checking in. It's been a minute since I did a video, so I wanted to hop on. Lots of new updates from MZ, as always. Um, Today is January 7th. Yesterday we had the new gym set drop with the gym selector, an additional 1,000 of Troop Rally. So that puts the Troop Rally size at, if I'm not mistaken, 12,000 or 12 million. I'm sorry, and that's gonna be a nice little add-on. Let's see what else we got here. All rally size capacity increased by additional 1 million. This is an infantry range, cavalry attack, health, defense with your hero. So you're looking at a 1,500 attack, 1,000 health, and a 500 for defense. So I don't think for a lot of traps this is gonna make a huge difference, but I mean, I haven't gotten any numbers yet. It just came out, so, and I don't get a lot of hits lately, so it's just one of those things where, and I did get zeroed a couple of weeks ago. I fell asleep in some bait gear last Wednesday and woke up to imprisonment. So had to rebuild, but I definitely rebuilt and came back a little bit stronger than before, just to hold up to some of these fire troops that we're going against now. So what else we got in here? Gym selector and Happen Bed Gym's choice of presets. Pretty cool. Like that feature. This would be really useful for you rally leaders and stuff out there. I mean, for a trap, I don't think that's going to be some research I'm going to do. And then we had the release of the, I don't know, Spinks, I don't know, whatever core set. MZ getting like ridiculous with these names though. And this is a infantry attack, so 6,750 infantry attack and a 2,150 enemy debuff. I don't know, man. If your setup's not right, you're gonna burn. It's that simple. And people ask me. I got a couple of messages this week, and if you want to message me, definitely message me. I'm always willing to answer questions about like troop counts, and they were asking me about my power. And I don't have a lot of power. I mean, I don't. I'm just scrolling through some of these cores as I talk. Recipes, but I don't have a lot of power, and I try not to keep my traps super high, but with all the cores I did have to come up to about 113, 115. I kind of hover around that area. Something I wanted to release in this video, I just covered a blog. I wanted to go ahead and release some information, something that I came up with. A lot of people are talking about the kunais, and I did the video on why the kunais and how you get the 120% attack debuff resistance. And the attack debuff resistance is what really helps you not burn. I found another piece of gear a couple of weeks ago that has attack debuff resistance as well. But in using this, you can get your attack debuff resistance up to 130%. But your defense has to be at a minimum of about 4,800, and I'll show you where I'm talking about. If your defense is up at about 4,800, you can wear this, and it's a weapon. And if you go into the spearman file, Silverman spear, it has, and the Silverman spear has an enemy attack debuff of that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for resistance. A troop defense debuff resistance of 10%. All right. So if you look at, we already know that when we add those other ones, we get the and I'm going to show you a cool little trick with this. We add those other ones, we get 120%. So let's just take a look at them. Let's go over here and let's go to boost, and we'll scroll down to attack debuff resistance. Should be in here somewhere at 120, and I know I keep passing it. The individual debuff resistance. I always have a problem finding this. Need to kind of narrow it down. Alright, there it is. Okay. Troop defense debuff resistance is at 110% right now with 3 kunais. And if I take and place this in, where is it? Yeah, I see I keep passing it. You probably done seen it like 4 or 5 times now. Alright, there it is. Alright, and I'm going to do this real quick, so I don't have no problems in the video get interrupted. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and equip this. Alright. Now, with that equipped, if we go in and look at our boost now, remember it only had 10%. So that put our debuff resistance at 120% now. So defense debuff resistance is up to 120%. But if you notice, my defense has went down to 4,229%. So right now I will burn. I would definitely burn if I get hit. So I would definitely have to run like a potion or a boost or something like that in order not to burn. But I would definitely kill a lot more troops in the ratio aspect. Now another way to do this same setup, something else I done was I took this and you go with 2 kunais and the spear, and you can go with, boom, that gives you 247%. With that, now we'll go back and we'll look at our boost. And now we have a defense debuff resistance of 90, and the defense came up to 4,477. Now we won't kill as many troops and we'll definitely burn. So this is not a good setup. You have to make sure that that troop defense is over the 45 to 4,800 range, and your debuff resistance, many go with the 2 kunais, which would give you a 60% with just the 2 kunais. If you notice, this is giving you 90%, which means that spear gave you an extra 20% when it only usually shoots out 10. So that's a really cool little glitch or tip or trick, you know, something else that the attack debuff was kind of messed up when MZ started to put it together, but it definitely helps a lot with the traps. So what I suggest to all of the traps, or, you know, smaller traps, other than getting your defense up to the 750 range, other than getting your defense up there to the 4,500 to 4,800 range. Like I'm with that particular set I just popped, I have 4,500 on defense, 4,500 on defense, and my debuff resistance is 110. So I would not burn. I would not win tremendously if they sent fire troops, but I would not burn. So, you know, and that definitely works in coordinates with your troops. Right now, I'm running low on troops, so I'm running at about 4 billion troops, 4.5 to 5 billion troops to 5.5 billion troops. To me, would be a good range. I still, excuse me, I apologize. I still run the T4, T2, T4 setup. I've been integrating T3s into different areas, seeing how that works out. But you definitely want to be have your ratio set up where you are over, set up correctly, and be sure that you are over 4 billion, 0.5 to to 5.5, I guess, and that's all based on your defense. So if you got a higher defense, you can go with a lower number. I run kind of streamlined, and I kind of take a hit, and then I'll up my gear and change my setup, just to try to get hits. But it's all up to you. But remember, those are your key guidelines. You got to be at about 4,500 to 4,800 with your defense. Your debuff can go from 110 to 90 or even down to 60 if you're at the 4,800 range, and your troop count needs to be at around 4.5 to 5.5 billion. And that's pretty much it, man. When it comes to boosting and stuff, you definitely want to boost up as much as you can. And it usually takes you to the luck range, just depending, in the 12s and between 12 to 17 maybe, to get a really good troop boost. Try not to have to use those rewinds if you can. I try to, keep mine at about 10, or I have a range. I don't settle for anything less than between 8 and 10. I try to shoot for a 10. If I get over that, I'm definitely happy. But that's usually my range when I'm doing the boosting. Another way to get extra defense is to make potions. I don't have a lot of potions. I don't really run them too often, but I do keep one on standby. And I use a defensive potion. Sometimes I'll have a health potion. So definitely keep them on hand, even if you don't have to use them. Learn how to read your reports. Reports are definitely important. I'll show you. Let's see. This was a test hit that I took, and this was with the file one could not, and the file and the frost graves, the gloves or frost gloves or whatever for accessories, and the file. And this was a 11 million March, and I burned. But if you look at the deficit of the kill, it wasn't that bad. I lost 90,000 troops, and I really believe that if I re-gem the way I have it set up, I could probably take that March in that gear. So I'll be working on that, and I'll let you guys know how it works out. Experiment, man. Experiment. Build you some troops. I build up, I break down. I build up, I break down. And I do that because you have to be able to get hits. People in your kingdom, unless you're just one of those people that just want to be untouchable and don't want anybody to ever hit you, it kind of gets boring. So you probably just come out better just building up and becoming a rally leader or something, because it's no fun when you don't get attacked. But I definitely switch my gear out a lot and try to test different stuff, and try to bait people in to solo me and whatnot. If you got questions, I'm going to wrap this video up, but if you got questions and need help, definitely hit me up. You can message me here. If you like the videos, please like, subscribe, share it with the rest of your kingdom, the rest of your alliance. Go back, look at some of the old videos for some of those newer players. It's a lot of information in there for them. I know we're all trying to recruit. If you're in ancient kingdoms, trying to get newer players to try to join and help revive the kingdom that you're in. But if you got questions, hit me up. It's your boy Stone7, and I am out.